Good morning, guys. Just a short, quick video here to show you a couple finished coil pots that I did for this first assignment. So I made one that basically stacked the coils to stair step out little by little, and I decided to turn it into a planter. So I blended together the coils on the inside really well, and I took time to really sponge and smooth them. Now you're still going to see kind of little ripples or lines where the coils were stacked and where you blended them, but you should be able to smooth out the surface so that it is fairly smooth. Just use a sponge to really smooth that out, clean it up as best you can. I also sponged the outside, basically taking a sponge and sponging in the direction of the coils just to get as many little nicks and scratches and things out of the coils as I could. You'll still see the seams where we cut and join the coils occasionally, but for the most part we clean it up to make it look as nice as we can. And then I made a simple little catch for it, or a plate where the water can drain out. It's just a slab bottom, just like we start the coil pot, and it was just one coil high. And then the same lid that I used to cut the bottom for this pot, I put on top of this while it was moist and pressed in to make an impression. That way, this sits hopefully nicely into that little area, and you've got yourself a little planter. The other one that I did, basically I just stacked the coils one on top of the other, tried to keep it fairly straight, and blended and smoothed the inside just like the last one. Really worked to try and smooth out any of the ridges since I knew I wanted this to be a coffee cup or a mug. So I really worked to smooth that out just with my fingers and with a sponge. And then I put two coils together side by side, laid them flat, and blended them together on the inside. You can kind of see that on the handle, and left the coil design on the opposite side. And then I stood that coil up on its side, and I sponged it first, I should say, so it was super soft and bendable, so it wouldn't crack. And I stood it on its side, and then I put it in the shape of the question mark, and trimmed it and cut it to the length that I wanted. And then I let it sit like that for a day to get leather hard. After it was leather hard, then I cross-hatched and slipped it onto the outside of the coil pot, and made sure it was nice and straight and lined up where I wanted it. And I wait till it's leather hard so that it will hold this curve. If you try to do it while the clay's still real soft and wet, it's not going to hold this curve. It's going to sag and so forth. And then whenever I put handles on things, I always then turn them upside down. The reason being that the weight of the handle and gravity is going to press it down into the side so that it helps it to stay attached. If it's this way, gravity's kind of pulling it off from where I've just attached it. So I like to turn them upside down, and because of that reason, I try to make the handle not go any taller than the top of the actual mug itself. That way I can turn it upside down and it's not resting on the handle. It's not going to damage the handle any. Now if you do want a higher handle so it goes above the top of the mug, you could always put it then on the edge of a table to sit and rest so that it's not going to hit and it's not going to damage it. So basically took that simple coil pot, put a handle on it, and turned it into a mug. So a couple little examples. Just thought I would share them with you, and I hope you guys are doing well on your coil pots. So we'll let these dry slowly, and once they're all dried, then we will go ahead and be able to load them in the kiln and get them through the bisque fire as time permits and as we have enough projects to fill the kiln. All right, have a great day.